Greetings fans, friends, and family. Your Crafty Diva Cat here with another in my series of works in progress videos, although this is actually a work that's already finished because it was quite a small project. Every year I make a new ornament for my Christmas tree. I started it the first year that I was out on my own and had my first Christmas tree in my first apartment. And my first ones that I did were little bead craft ones, these bells right here. And in later years I did other bead craft ones like these wreaths, but I mostly did cross stitch ones. I did some plastic canvas needlepoint on snowflakes like this, but most of mine were either cross stitch on cloth, there's another cross stitch on cloth, or cross stitch on perforated paper like both of these are, or cross stitch on 14 count plastic canvas, which is what this is, even counted cross stitch, or stamped cross stitch instead of counted, which is what this one is, which was from year before last. So as some of you know, I did have a fire where my husband and I lost almost everything in 2008, but my homemade ornament survived because I had been keeping them in one of those blue Danish cookie tins that you see during the holidays, and out of a whole closet full of things that were destroyed, my homemade ornament survived in their tin. Go figure. So I have ones that I have created every year since, and this year was no exception to that rule. The kit that I selected for this year instead of a pattern was the Hope Cardinal by Dimensions, and that's a look at the front cover. It was very fitting to us this year. We have a lot that's going to be coming in the next year that we're very hopeful about, and so this seemed quite appropriate for this year's ornament. The kit came with the floss like the Dimensions does in their gold kits, which means on one of these cards where it's all pre-sorted for you with the colors and the numbers all listed at the top. This makes it super easy to work the kit. I really, really love these. It keeps all your floss in a great order. You don't have to try and dig up something from your own supplies or be punching holes in cardboard to make your own card for your floss with a kit, which I sometimes have to do so you can keep the links separated. This is absolutely brilliant. Whoever thought of this, it has styrofoam in between two layers and little holes, and you can see the tops of the thread comes out here, but you can just, when you're pulling, it's fantastic because you can just pull your single strand from the end, separate it by sliding it up, give it a sharp pull, and it pops right out with no problem, no hassle, and you're ready to go. So I can't say enough about how much I love kits that come with a carded floss like this. It also came with a colored or two-color chart, which is another big plus as far as I'm concerned because it's much easier to work. Now I told you about how usually I use a highlighter on complicated charts to keep track of the stitches that I've done. Not as necessary on this kind of chart, both because of the extra colors, but also because it's quite small. So this is the finished piece, and I don't have it attached. It also came with background material, which was awesome because most of my stuff did not, because mostly I did it from designs instead of from kits. So I have a variety of papers and things that I have glued to the back that I used scrapbook papers and good acid-free glue, but over the years it has gotten a little muckier looking than I would like, even with nice cardstocks on the back. So you can't always win with that kind of thing. This includes a nice belt for the backing, and it also included the wire for the hanger. And it gives you a little illustration on the front of how to do a nice twisty little hanger, although I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know how complicated that part is. But the design itself came out absolutely beautifully. I don't have a tiny hoop, so I stitched this without a hoop, and they included nice high quality cloth that was really stiff. For a small project like this, it often stays stiff enough that you don't have to worry about using a hoop because your fabric is not getting all bendy and stretching all over the place even when you're on the back of your fabric. Now, I don't try to leave long bits of between, but sometimes it happens, especially when you're doing stuff like French knots, and there's quite a few French knots in here, as you can see, where the berries are. So you can't finish off every French knot. You do need to carry some behind, and that's the other plus on having a nice thick fabric, is that it's not going to show through on the front. But as you can see, even though I had to pull that behind a little bit where the French knots are in black, it didn't cause a problem with the fabric even unhooped. So good quality fabric, really nice ornament, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out. So that's going to be our symbol for the next year, is hope, because we have such great things on the horizon for us. And it's great tradition to have a new ornament every year for your tree. As others have pointed out to me, I should have been keeping the years written down on every ornament as I made them, because now I really can't remember which ones I made in which years except for the most recent ones. So that is a tip. So if you get started, you're going to think at the beginning that you're going to remember every year which ornament you did, but 12 years down the line, you're going to be sitting there going, yeah, I'm not really sure. So it's just something to keep in mind, to put a little date on the back. And I'm going to go back and try and date the ones that I remember, like the one from 2 years ago and the one from last year. But some of the ones from years before that, I guess I'm just kind of stuck not knowing. But it's okay, because I do know there's one from every year on my tree. So that is Works in Progress Hope Ornament from Dimensions. As always, thanks for watching and happy crafting.